cooking is all about finding your flow. It's about understanding who you are as an individual, what kind of patience you have. And some people say they don't have much time. So listen, if you don't have time, maybe you're not making the falafels, but you're making the egg dishes and the stir fries and stuff. That's cool. Alright, welcome back to day 3 for breakfast. I thought today I'd prep a couple things just to have for the week. So I'm going to make this sort of compote, I don't know what you want to call it. It's like apples and pears and just kind of cook them down with some raisins and just some water. Just going to get like a pinch of salt in there to kind of bring out some of the sweetness. But you could add sugar, but you honestly don't even need to. Just the apples and pear and the little raisins will be sweet enough. And basically, since I don't have pancakes, I don't have syrup, this is going to act as like my sweetness, and honestly it might even be better than syrup. I don't want to say anything's better than syrup because syrup is freaking good. But I have these raisins, part of this trail mix that I did get that had some almonds in it and peanuts. So I'm just going to like kind of carefully excavate some of the raisins. They'll just add a little bit of extra sweetness and they'll plump up for deliciousness. And if you are just joining us today, just a quick little side note, I've got a podcast. You can click the link below. It's on Anchor. Anchor's a really cool site. I partnered up with them. Actually, my old drummer started this amazing app. It's sort of like Instagram stories of audio, so you can make your own radio station, you can listen to podcasts, you can create podcasts right from there. So if you want to get in the podcast game, check it out, but you can check out my station, You Enjoy Life. Click below. It's all about good food, good life, good music, just kind of having a good time. Check that out. Sign up, follow me for some glorious times. So I soaked these almonds in water overnight. If you'll see, they just slip right off. The shell just kind of slips right off. This is not a necessary step, but if you want to get like more of a white almond milk, I might actually do sort of like half of them because I don't feel like sitting here for a while and doing that. So I'm going to take the skins off some, leave some. They're a little bit bitter, so it kind of helps take away some of that bitterness if you take the shells off. But almond milk is super simple to make. You just soak almonds. And if you don't have a lot of time, like if you don't have overnight, just soak them in hot water and then in an hour they're good to go. Pour in this water. Some people strain the water. I kind of like keeping the water. All right, add a good amount of water in there. You can always add more. I'm gonna add like another cup of water. So I got I think half a cup of almonds or so. But yeah, one thing to remember the whole video, everything is just to give you ideas. So if you're struggling, like I didn't buy almonds, you can blend up oats and make oat milk. You can make peanut milk. Like this is just to have a little bit of creaminess when I'm going to be making like pancakes and anything I want to eat really. I just like this sort of creaminess of milk. Okay, I'm going to add a pinch of salt and a little sugar, optional. You could add raisins, you could add dates, whatever. More blending. This is kind of great. I got a little like milk thing here. So you could strain this out if you want, and you could also add xanthan gum if you want to thicken it, but I don't even see the point. And look at that. It's like freaking creamy, delicious milk. Come on, be a perfect fit. That's amazing. I'm impressed. And the more water you add, obviously the thinner it gets. One thing to note, because there's no xanthan gum or any kind of thickener, it's totally cool. It will separate, the water from the pulp will separate, just shake it up and you're back in business. So now that we got that, we have the opportunity to make some pancakes. So let's make some freaking delicious pancakes. You're probably wondering how you can make pancakes without any flour. Well, I made some flour. So this is actually oat flour. I took some of my oats and just blended it up in a blender, a food processor, whatever. You could even, I don't know, figure out some kind of crazy thing, chew it up and spit it out. Probably not, don't do that. But this is oat flour. And oat flour is amazing for cookies. It's amazing for pancakes. You can make breads out of it. And I honestly have been preferring it more to regular flour because it has that like, if you think about oatmeal, right? Like there's like a chewiness to it and it has that flour. So I'm gonna take a banana, maybe half a banana, and just kind of mash it up. You may have seen us do in the past the egg and banana. Literally, if you just take one whole banana and one egg, mix them together, you can make these sort of like hack makeshift pancakes. But adding the oat flour and the almond milk, it's gonna be amazing. You could of course add baking soda, baking powder if you had that and you considered that extra couple cents in the budget. Again, some people are super strict and they're like, I'm gonna spend my $30 and that's it. Other people, like, it might be great to have this sort of basic idea, like, okay, I'm gonna spend $30 and then if I need a couple little things, that's fine. So you decide what works for you, but if you're only spending $30 a week on food, $120 for the whole month, I would say that's pretty damn good. Especially if you eat like a king. And if you want to make up for it, you can charge your friends, you know, $10 a meal, and then you're making a lot of money. One thing I always find about budget cooking is the reason I got so much into this, because when I first moved to New York, super broke, had no money, and I had to cook for myself. And I started looking at my life and I was looking at what are the things that I really need. Because for, like in the case of this video, coffee, right? Like a lot of people think that, okay, they can afford coffee, but they can't afford food. It doesn't really make sense to me, like, but I need my coffee. And even if that's $2 a day, $2 times 7, that's $14 you're spending on coffee a day, and you can make a lot of food with that. So think about, do you really need coffee to survive, or maybe you just need to eat some good food? This is basically just banana, eggs, in with my oat flour, and of course some almond milk. You could hear the apple compote rumbling away back there. Get this pan on. Very important to use a non-sticker. And this is actually kind of a coarse almond flour, so that, you know, it depends on how you want to make it. You can make it thicker or thinner, and you could also make this batter and, you know, use it for a couple days. So I can make a couple pancakes and have some for tomorrow if I want. So remember, I'm not going to show you every single meal that I make because you're probably going to double up on certain meals. Like you might make the pancakes twice. But I'm going to show you guys enough variety so you're going to feel good going into this. And then you got to just have fun and use your creativity. A little bit of salt goes in. And I could, like, if I wanted to have fun, I could actually take, you know what, I will. I want to have fun, so I'm going to have fun. I'm going to take some of this and grate it in. Okay, I'm just going to grate in some ginger. Don't even worry about peeling the skin. The skin will stay on the one side. And this will just add like another dimension of flavor, especially because it's fall. Ginger, like I could add some sweet potato in here if I wanted to. That would be kind of amazing. I think I'll do a sweet potato pancake for another meal. Oil in there, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Batter, and then we just start the pouring process. I'll just do like kind of a couple big ones. And if I really want to have fun, I can take some raisins, maybe some peanuts. It'd be fun. So I got this little trail mix, so I have like all this little variety in here. Sexy looking pancake right there. Boom. Give these little pancakes a shot. Pretty beautiful. Literally just the oat flour, almond milk, egg, banana, and like that little compote on top. Why not? You could just eat oatmeal, but it's boring. Oat pancakes. Try them out. On to lunch. So, lunchtime, I'm gonna do a little cabbage rolls. Basically, I've got some cabbage, just like pieces, kind of like the lettuce wraps, except I've been boiling them so I can wrap them up. I'm gonna make a little mixture, and then I'll be able to wrap them in there, and there's just gonna be another, like, kind of different texture. Again, you can do the straight up cabbage rolls, but this will be a nice filling. It's almost like an egg roll, but just a little fresher, per se. Get some oil in the pan, same deal. I'm gonna put in first just some ginger and my onions. It's nice to give things like their own little space to cook, you know? Just having a good time. All right, in goes cabbage. A little salt in there. Pepper. At this point, I'm gonna add a little bit more oil. And then I have my curry powder, which I kind of just put in here to make it easier. And that's gonna actually put the oil in there. That's gonna kind of toast the curry powder with everything. And already the smell is just insanity right in here. It's for some people, like these challenges, like I said, they want to be really strict. But also, if you already have spices in your pantry, don't feel like you can't use them. It's really more about like spending that week. So if you're only spending $30, you might have some dried goods, you might have some seasonings and stuff. That's why I don't, include salt, pepper, and oil, but use whatever works for you. So these are the little cabbage guys, which I'll wrap in. And you have a couple options when it comes to this. You can either just wrap them and eat them, or you can wrap them and steam them. I think I'm just gonna wrap them. Obviously I could steam them, but I don't really see the purpose right now. And again, if they're not perfect, not a big deal. That's cooked, just throw the chicken in. Much as little as you'd like. This is no measurement cooking, this is all by feel. Very important in this style of cooking, just feel. You can always add more seasoning later. Don't be afraid. Believe in yourself. I'm just getting the chicken just enough to warm it back up. Mixture done, and then all I do is I take these sort of one at a time. Add a little bit of filling. Don't have to overcrowd it, but it doesn't really matter because we're not going to cook them again. And then just sort of roll them up. If they burst, doesn't matter. No one's judging you but yourself. So just have fun with it. And don't judge yourself. Try not to. It's hard not to, but try not to. Beautiful. Yeah. Finish it off. Lime. Yeah. Let's tuck into this thing. You could also just pick them up and eat them as rolls, which maybe I should. Yeah. Oh, expensive. I'd add some lime to it. Lime with curry. Sometimes curry can be a little bitter, so if you add the lime or lemon, it feels like that. It's really good. But dinner is where things get really exciting. Let's make some falafel. So for dinner, I wanted to make something extra special. Falafel is incredible. I got the chickpeas. First, I'm gonna make a homemade mayo. And normally with falafel, you'd have some sort of sesame sauce. You'd have hummus or something. You could definitely make a hummus, or some version of a hummus. But I just figured like mayo is nice because I'm gonna use it for a couple things. And the only thing about mayo with the budget is it does take a decent amount of oil, so don't feel like you need to. But mayo is super easy to make. You basically just take one full egg or just an egg yolk, and then just start whisking and slowly pour. I just have some veggie oil here. Just kind of slowly pour it in. And as you do that, it's going to thicken. And if your bowl is sliding around like mine is, just boom. See? Magic. And don't add too much right away. Basically, the egg, the lecithin in the egg is emulsifying. It's like science and stuff that's happening. So if you add it too fast, it will break. But if you add it just very slow, if the oil binds with the egg, and you'll make mayo and just keep slowly adding. Okay, so as you can see, it's starting to thicken up a lot. Once it starts to thicken up, you can add, you don't have to go as slow in the oil pour, but you also don't want to add too much. So when it feels like it's at a nice consistency, you don't want the egg to like break, so just kind of stop. Let's see how that's doing. I mean, to me that feels nice. It's kind of like a saucy mayo. I might just add a little bit more. Whoop. Perfect, and you'll see it gets white. If you're just doing egg yolk, your mayo is going to be a little more orange. And a lot of times people say aioli, and aioli is literally just mayo. It's just a fancier word because some people say mayo. Sometimes they get freaked out. So if you can tell your friends that you made aioli, and they'll be like, "You made your own aioli? Holy moly!" So take that, and now at this point, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, season it. Okay, some lime juice in there. You could do lemon, vinegar, whatever. But you're just kind of flavoring it now, and it should all stay together nice and fine. Now that it's mayo, a little bit of salt. Mayo is very salty, so don't be afraid to kind of go nuts with the salt. That's one of the reasons people like it. It's basically salt and fat. Look, boom, homemade mayo. Simple. Just gonna add some pepper to my mayo. I think that'll just kind of lively it up even more. Oh yeah, cracked black pepper mayo. That shit is crack. For dinner, falafel is amazing. It's super easy to make. I already made my mayo, and basically I took chickpeas. Like, I took the chickpeas and I soaked them overnight. And it's very important. You don't want to make falafel with cooked chickpeas. If you do, you need lots of flour because it's very watery and stuff. I made that mistake before. I've had falafels disintegrate and disappear on me because they were so watery. But basically, it's very simple. You take food processor, kind of chuck. I have some onions, some ginger. I'm going to put some cilantro in there. Normally you'd use garlic. I don't have garlic. There's like different things in falafel. I'll probably add a little bit of curry, a bunch of cilantro, boom, like so. You can play around with like throwing other things. You know, you could add in like a little bit of carrot or beets or something. Some salt, boom, a little bit of oil, some pepper. Just find it helps kind of disperse everything around. Ooh, baby, it smells good. Okay, now here's the trick. You add in your soaked falafel or your soaked chickpeas. Remember, not cooked, just soaked. Soaked overnight. A little more salt goes in there, why not? Feels good to me. And we just blend. All right, we're gonna kind of scrape it down every once in a while. While that's going, I'm also gonna get some oil hot in the pan. You could totally bake these falafels, but something about a good fried falafel just will blow your damn mind off. Scallywags. Okay, cool. It's actually almost there. Really simple, guys. I'm just throwing stuff in, pressing some buttons, having a good time. What's very important is that these falafels are dry, and I'll show you why. Moisture is not their friend, because you want to be able to go like this. There's obviously going to be a little bit of water in there from the other things, but you're going to be able to go like that and have them hold together. If you really want to be careful, blend your ingredients up, strain them, and then do that, but you don't need to. Do not eat this, it's raw. Not good. Alright, so while the oil's hot, I'm just going to prep some of my ingredients. And with falafel, you'll see different things, but usually I have pickles, which is great because I made pickles. Just gonna take some tomatoes, slice these little gads up. So the trick is when you're cooking is don't do too many things at once. Like don't try to be doing a million things, but what you can do is plan it. So like while the oil's heating up, then you can go cut your tomatoes and prep your ingredients. I think what might be kind of funny, just take this little end here, sort of scoop it out. So the pickles have only been pickling for a day. They should be really delicious, but I would focus on the thinner ones if you can, because they're gonna pickle faster. But whatever you grab, totally cool. You can choose how big you want them, but think about your sort of standard little falafel ball, and it's like making a little burger. And we'll just test it. Good. Oil's looking good. If that bubble is there, usually means some good stuff. And what's cool too is you can fry up, enough falafels for yourself for dinner. Or even better, you could do this whole challenge with a friend, or with a partner, and you guys can each, like, if I had $60 instead, even though you're feeding 2 people, you have a lot more options for variety, because maybe you can buy something that's a little more pricey. But yeah, what's cool about this mixture is that this is a ton of falafel mixture, so I can probably get like 15 balls out of here. So I'm just gonna do like 5 or 6 for now, and then I can save the rest, and I can just fry them up whenever I want. Or like I said, give them a try baking them, or make like a falafel burger. Like part of the key of this whole experience is get as much variety as you can by being creative. And what's cool about this is the shallow fry. So instead of having to deep fry everything, you don't have to use nearly as much oil. You can still get the full fry, you just have to flip them over. So I don't feel like you need to use a ton of oil, and I can recycle this oil. So let's say I use, a cup or so of oil. Maybe half of it's gonna be kind of gone at the end. Some of it's gonna just be on the food, some of it's gonna be elsewhere. So just know that like even though you're using oil, you can reuse it. All you have to do is just let it cool down, strain it, and you're good to go. Remember, like, falafels are done. I'm gonna just pop one in there. Just think that's funny. Kind of just make yourself a little falafel platter. You could add the rice if you wanted to have some brown rice, but I got plenty of starch with the bread. Bit of the heat for the hot sauce. Most best part, I kind of put them in these little breads, which I thought was kind of funny, but it's almost like a little mini pita. Add some cabbage, cilantro, peppers, there's that hot sauce down there, throw on there, and just give it a go. Wow. Right, food in my face. I don't care. That is different. That's amazing. Day 3 is done. On to day 4.